Namaste. Hare Krishna Manantara. Shri Agni Namaha. Namaste. Shri Krishna Namaha. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Ana Bekoak Gedulak Yemineka Datil Jerura Gabel Rinat Ameka Sagvenu Daharenu Nora Gislev. Tikukun Hanefesh Gatel 호크마 비나 Chesed. Gebura. Deparet. Netzach. Hod. Yesod. Sorry. Malchut. 나 기볼 도르쉐이 이후다카 갸바바트 조무람 바르캠 다하람 라카메이 지드카테카 다미드 고물람 Yeah, I got protection for the day. Sin gatos, barov dubeka, nahel adateka, sin gatos, barov dubeka, nahel adateka, yakid ge yakid ge le ameka bene zokrei gedushateka. Shabatenu Gabel Ushma Cha Akatenu Yodea Da Alumot. Forgot to switch. Now I have full protection for the day. That's what I have to do every single day. At least until I heal. I don't know what's gonna happen after I heal. I'll probably be doing it for fun. You know how like kids play. That's probably how I'm gonna end up with the Kabbalah prayer after I heal, I think. Yeah, this is so cool. I mean, not yet this. Look at that. Wow. Technology. Elon Musk, I think, wrote that the modern Elon Musk, not the one before 2020. Musk 2.0 said that. Now I forget what I was gonna say. Let me think, and let me focus on writing before I screw up. Yeah, even if you just watch me write the mantra, and if you watch this like every day, somehow you're gonna learn this subconsciously, and one day you're gonna write the mantra, probably while you're high or something, and you'll be like, oh my god, I learned how to write the Hare Krishna mantra without writing. I was just watching this guy probably like for a total of hours and hours and hours. And that's what real learning is. You learn without consciously knowing that you're learning. Otherwise, too much effort comes to naught after a while. Think about that. You put a lot of effort, the effort comes to naught after a while. I mean, you could build something permanent while you're putting your effort in. Okay. Yeah, it's really cool mirror flip. I think it's good enough for me. You don't want too much sunlight. Alright, let me see if I can deal with it. Namaste. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namaste. Oh yeah, so yeah, really real learning is about learning things subconsciously. And generally speaking, that's what real learning is. Because a lot of people learn negative things like fear. I learned fear. I didn't consciously learn fear. I taught myself how to fear through a unfortunate series of events, or maybe even a single traumatic event. But yeah, fear is something that I learned subconsciously. It wasn't something that I was putting my effort in. I wasn't putting my effort in order to fear something. I wasn't practicing how to fear a mob of unruly teenagers or something. But not anymore. I'm older now. Yeah, I used to get bullied sometimes. What was my point? What was I talking about? Was I talking about bullying? Cue how the subject changes. Oh yeah, writing. Oh, I already wrote it. I'm gonna take a little break, I guess, and then I'll do my Sanskrit studies. Let me get prepared for that. I'm gonna reset the camera because the camera is acting up when it shouldn't. So I'm gonna be out of picture for about 5 seconds. Okay, I'm back. Let me read you today's headlines. That's a proper way to kickstart the day. Abundant Life Christian School shooting latest. Local schools report swatting. After investigating January 6th, House GOP sides with Trump and goes after Liz Cheney. In reversal, key House panel votes to release Matt Gaetz's ethics report. U.S. House Speaker defends stopgap spending as some Republicans must balk. U.S. weighs ban on Chinese-made router in millions of American homes. Spine, that's all I could think of. The last meteor shower of the year peaks a few days before Christmas. Russia detains suspect in assassination of general sanctioned for chemical weapons use. Congress unveils funding deal with more than $100 billion in disaster aid. Disney's settlement of Trump suit roils ABC News. A news station getting world is news. Okay, so I'm gonna start with Garuda Purana. Has anyone figured out what life is? God figured out what life is. I am Satan, and I haven't figured out life yet as of December 18th, 2024. What is life? What's the point in life? Is there a point? According to Terry Pratchett in his Discworld novel, this world is, well, when asked the meaning of life, one of his characters named Death, one of the major characters, he replied, Cats are nice. It's the whole point of life, according to Terry Pratchett, is that cats are nice. There's no point. There's no point in life. But is it right to, be other than non-violent with yourself? I think the best you can do is hope and pray for a better future. That's all you could really, really, really do. When you hit rock bottom, when you can't do anything, the only thing you can really do at that point is to hope. Keep hoping and pray. Ask for help in a verbal form to God. God help me in your son King Osha's name. Please. That should be enough. According to Hinduism, this world is called Kali Yuga. Yuga means should I say an era? It's a long period of time. For example, Kali Yuga is like 500,000 years long. We have entered the Kali Yuga from 5,000 years ago, when pretty much everything got destroyed in Kurukshetra in India from this war in the Mahabharata, where 1 billion people came to India to war, and it was a world war. 1 billion people at that time was the entire world, and only about 20,000 people survived, somewhere around there. So, what was my point with that? I don't know. I'm not making any points. Life has no point. I'm not making any points. Ha. Here's for computer geeks out there. I used to be a computer geek until it got too hard for me to understand. I used to build my own desktops until probably the year 2005, maybe. 2012 might be the latest. I'm not sure. But this is the most beautiful piece of artistic equipment I've ever owned, my laptop. And it's a Ryzen 7000 series, Ryzen 7. And 84 blades, arc flow fans, and 4 exhaust vents. This is made for gaming. I'm not a gamer anymore. I mean, I was never a gamer. I'm 46, I'll be 47 pretty soon. In half a year. DDR5, 4800 megahertz. 4800 megahertz. High performance DDR5 RAM. RBG backlit keyboard. It's like Magick. Type-C fast charging. 100 watts. Wow. Military grade. Military standard 810H. 810H passed. Military standard durability. MUX switch with NVIDIA Advanced Optimus. Wi-Fi 6 certified. Dolby Atmos. High resolution audio. NVIDIA GeForce RTX. So it's AMD with GeForce. Usually you would think AMD just, pairs up with Ryzen or Radeon. Okay, here we go. So today I'm reading Garuda Purana, chapter 8. I have a feeling that it's probably long. Chapter 8. Yep, it's long. It's 118 verses. I saw some longer verses in the middle. Namaste. There we go. Ata ashirtamotiyayahu. Kabbalah uvacha. Mushimikim kriyam saivam pada sukrutinam mama. Kartabhyam sang yatham putraisatatham ja kathaya prabho. Shri Bhagavan uvacha. Satu Purushottam Devaya Tai Kushuya Manushanam Hitaya Vai Tai Mikai Ham Jan Yatakurutiyam Tatasaivam Kathayami Te Sukurati Val Take Durushatava Shariram Vyati Samyutama Vyati Samyutama Pratikulan Graham Shajan Pratikulan Graham Shajaiva Prana Koshasya Jan Shrutima Tadan Sivamaranam Jinyatava Nilpayahu Siyada Tanandritahu Ajinya Tapanam Praya Shachitatam Samacharat Yadam Siyada Turahu Kalasatatam Snanam Samarapet Pujanam Karayad Vishnuho Shalagrama Savarupinoho Alchayad Gananta Pushipai Baishichan Alchayad Gananta Pushipai Shichan kumais tulasi dalai he tu baldi bai shi jang nai be dial bahu pil modaka di pi he bai de nai be dial bahu pil modaka di pi he tatvan jang taku shui nam 비프라는 나의 베디야 데바 포자야트 아실트 구쇼람 자페는 많은 드람 드바다샤 구쇼람의 방짱 삼스마라츠 추루누야 쯔짜이방 비슈눌나마 시바시야 짱 하릴나마 하리뜨바밤 느르놈 시라바누 곧자라무 삼스마라츠 츠라누야 쯔짜이방 비슈놀나마 시바시야 짱. Sorry, I'm reading it again. I made a mistake, I think. 하릴나마 하리뜨바밤 느르놈 시라바누 곧자라무 로기노는 티까마사디야 쇼짜니얌 나 바는 타바이흐 스마라누이얌 바비트람 메 나마테얌 무훌무후흐 마트시야흐 굴모 바라하시자 나라심하시자 바마나흐 라모 라마시짱 그르슈너시짱 부드타흐 까르기 따타이바짱. 에따니 다샤나마니 스말타비아니 사당 부타이흐 사미베 로기노 부루율바는 다바 스테 브라킬 티타흐 그르슈누에티 망은갈람 나마 야시야 바치 브라발타테 다시야 바스미 파바는 디아슈 마하바타카코토야흐 무리야마노 하렐나마 그르너는 보트로 빠짜리따무 아자밀노피아가드타마 김 보나흐 시라드타야 그르너는 하릴하라티 파파니 두시터 찌뜨따이라피 스무르타흐 아니츠차야피 삼스프르슈토 다하티에바 히바바카흐 하릴나문나시짱 야 샤크티흐 파파닐하라누에 드비잠 따바트칼툼 사마리오 나 바타감 바타키 자나흐 깅은까레피오 야마흐 브라하나야트밤 나스티감 자나무 나이바나야타 포두다 하리나 마스마람 나라무 아치우탐 게샤밤 라마나라야남 그르슈나다 모다람 바수다밤 하리무 티 시리타람 마타밤 고피카 바르라밤 자나기 나야감 라마자는드람 파제트 까말라나야나 바수데바 비슈누 타라누이 타라 지우타 타라누이 타라 지우타 샴카 자크라 파누에 샴카 자크라 파누에 샴카 자크라 파누에. I have to look this up. Print is fuzzy. 1 to verse 18. Got it. 파바 샤라노마띠라는 샤라노마띠라야는 띠예 바이 디아자 파트 두라타레노 두라타레노 따나빠빠느 따나나야 트바마사토 따나나야 트바마사토 비무카는 꾸무는다 빠다라 비는다 마까라는다 라사다 자스라무 비무카는 꾸무는다 빠다라 비는다 마까라는다 마사 마까라는다 라사다 자스라무. 비무카는 묶는다 빠다라 비무카는 묶는다 빠다라 비무카는 묶는다 빠다라 비는다 마까라는다 라사다 자스라무. Sorry, I keep getting harassed. 비무카는 묶는다 빠 비무카는 묶는다 빠다라 비는다 마까라는다 사라 마까라는다라 사다 자스라무. 비무카는 묶는다 빠 비무카는 묶는다 빠다라 비는다 마까라는다라 사다 자스라무. 비무카는 묶는다 빠다라 비는다 마까라는다라 사다 자스라무. 마카라는다라 사다 자스라무 마카라는다라 사자 사스라무 자스라무 마카라는다라 사다 자스라무 마카라는다라 사다 자스라무. 오케이. 비무카는 묶는다 빠다라 비는다 마카라는다 마카라는다라 사다 자스라무 마카라는다라 사다 자스라무 마카라는다라 사다 자스라무 마카라는다라 사다 자스라무. 오케이. 비무카는 묶는다 빠다라는다 비란. Sorry, I keep getting harassed. They never do this when I'm not reading. 비무카는 묶는다 빠다라 비는 비무카는 묶는다 빠다라 비는다라. This is what happens when I get harassed while I'm reading Sanskrit. This only happens while I'm reading Sanskrit or chanting. More so when I'm reading Sanskrit. Tananaya tva masato 비무카는 묶는다 빠다라 비는다 마까라는다라 사다 자스라무. One more. 비무카는 묶는다 빠다라 비는다 마까라는다 마까라는다라 사다 자스라무. 비무카는 묶는다 빠다라 비는다 마까라는다라 사다 자스라무. Sorry about this. Just at the right time. This is not an easy word. And then I get interrupted. Now I have to recover from it. 비무카는 묶는다 빠다라 비는다 마까라는다라 사다 자스라무. 니시킨짜나 흐 파라마 함사콜라이 라사지냐이 주쉿 드 그르해 라사지냐이 주쉿 드 그르해 니라야 발트마니 바드타뚜르시너느 지흐바 나 바그티 바가바드 구너나 마테얌 짜타시짱 나 스마라티 라체짜라너라 비는담 라체짜라너라 비는담 그르셔너야 노 나마티 야체치라 에카다피 다나나 야트바만 사토 그르타 비슈누 그르티아나 다나나야 트바마 사토 다나나야 트바마 사토 그르타 비슈누 그르티아나 다스마트 삼키일타남 비슈눌 자가는 망은갈라 맘하삼 비슈눌 자가는 비슈눌 자가는 망은갈라 맘하삼 비슈눌 자가는 망은갈라 맘하삼 마하타마피 바쿠슈이는드라 미드티아이 가는 티칸디시 그르티무 브라야 시체트타니 질너니 나라야너 파랑은 무카누 나라야너 파랑은 무카무 나 니시푸나는 티 둘부드팀 수라 꿈은 파미바 바가흐 수라 꿈은 파미바 바가흐 그르시노 남은 나라감 파시아는 티 가타키를 비쇼흐 야맘짱 다드 파트음 시짱이방 스바프나피 나 가당짜나 맘사스티라크타바트카예 바이따라누염 바떼는 나 사흐 요는때 다디아드 드비제 피아시짱 나는다 나가미띠 아따흐 스마라는 마하비슈놀 나마 빠빠울카나 샤나무 기타 사스라나마니 바투에드방 슈루누야다피 에카다시 브라탐 기타 강은가문부 tulasi dalama 비슈노흐 바다문부 나마니 마라누에 무크디다니 무크디다니 자 따따흐 삼가를 빠야다는 남 삼크르땀 사하 깐짜남 사바트성 테나보 데야흐 쇼로트리야야 드비자따예 아는때 짜노 야드다다띠 스바르밤 빠 야디 빠 바후 다다쿠쇼얌 바베테딸 쿠슈유 야트푸트라시짜 누모다테 아는따깡레 두 사트푸트라흐 살바다나니 다바야트 에따달탐 수도 로케 브랄트타테 달마꼬비다이흐 부미시탐 삐따람 들으셨더바 알토는 미 리탈로짜나무 부트라이시 들으셔너 나 깔따비안 따뜻하네 보일바 삼치때 상 따뜻하다티 사트푸트로 야바즈지 바티야 사우치라무 아티바 하스투 다는 마에게 두학함 나 라파테 야따흐 뚜레 쪽바라게 짜 드바얌 다남 비시시어테 아토바시암 브라다 따비야 마실떠나 브라다 따비야 마실떠다남 딜라디까무 딜라 로함 히라누염 짜 까이빠소 라바넘 따탕 아프다타니암 구슈이 딜가보 히에까이감 빠바남 스무르따무 에따다시떠 마하다남 마하바타카나샤나무 아는타칸레 브라다타비암 슈르누 따시야짱 사트팔라무 마마 스베다 사무드 푸다흐 바비트라 스트리비타 스틸라흐 바비트라 스트리비타 스틸라흐 아수라 다나바 다이티아 스트르비아는티 딜라다나타흐 딜라흐 시베타 스타탄 그르슈누 다네나 카필라 스틸라흐 삼하라는티 드리탄 빵빰 방은마나흐 가야 삼치따무 로하다남 짱 다타비암 부미유크테나 빠누이나 야마시만 나 짜부노티 나 까츠차트타시야 발트마니 꾸트로 무사로 다는더흐 가드가시짱 추리깐 따탕 샤스트라누이 야마하스테 자 니그라헤 빠빠깔마너무 야마 유타남 사는 또시떠야이 다나메따 두다 흐르따무 다나메따 두다 흐르따무 다스마드 다디야 르로하다남 다스마드 다디야 르로하다남 야마로케 수카바하무 우라너흐 시아마수 드라시짱 슈는더 말고 비우 두문바라흐 슈는더 말고 비우 두문바라흐 셰쇼문발로 마하두다 로하다나트 수카프라다흐 슈르누 땅 구슈유 바람 구히암 다나남 다나무트따마무 다트테나 테나 두시어는티 풀푸바흐 스발가바시나흐 브라흐마디야 볼쇼요 데바 달마라자 사파사다흐 스발너다네나 사는 두시뚜 바바는티 바라다 야카흐 다스마드 데얌 스발너다남 브레토드 타라누 헤타베 나 야티 야마로감 사 스발가팀 따따 까츠차티 지람 바세트 사티아로케 따또 라자 파베디하 루바바느 타이미코 바그미 श्रीमानातुलाभिक्रामः 깔바사시야 두 다네나 두테피오 나 파얌 파베트 라바넘 디야테 야체짱 테나 나이바 파얌 야마트 아요 라바너 깔바 사틸라 kanchana danatahu ayolabana kai pa satila kanchana danatahu Chitrakuputan dayashut tutushutu Chitrakuputan dayasutushutu yamasya purapasinahu Saputatanya pradanena Prito dharmatvajo bhavet Tushutu bhavananti yeniapi Trishu tvareshivatishu tuitahu Vihayo Yavagotuma Mudukan Mashuhu Puriyangangabahu Janokahu Saputama Jinyayahu Saputatanya Mudahurutama Kochaimama Pasutan Tatatan Patre Vitanatahu Punati Brahmahatyaya Turishitamettanan Muni Shivaraihu Turishitamettanan Muni Shivaraihu. I'm gonna double check the spelling of this. 49. Almost halfway there. It's a miracle. Yep, got it. Na pratepyo na diltepyo na niyadana devinashyati rajye kurutam mahapapam Bhumidana dviliyate Purthivim Sasya Samampurnam Yo Tadati Dvijayat Dvijataye Sa Prayati Nandara Puvane Pujyamanaha Sura Suraiha Atyaripa Paladani Siuraniyadanani Kashyapa Purtividanajam Punuya Mahanyani Balde Tate Yo Putvan Pumipo Pumim Na Tadati Divijataye Sa Na Punoti Kutuim Grame Daridraha Siat Samudtare Siat Samudpave sorry Adanad Pumidanasya Pupatitva Pimanataha Nivasana Narake Yabachecheshwo Tarayate Taram Tasmad Pumi Shivaro Pumidanamena Pumidanameba Pradapayat Aniyeshwam Pumidanaltam Godanam Gatitam Maya 따또는 딸 테누다 따비안 루드라 테눔 브라다 바야트 모노 테눔 따뜨뜨반 모고셔 테눔 브라다 바야트 다디아드 바이타라누임 테눔 비셰셔 비티나 카가 따라야는티 나람 가바스트리 비타 쯔짜이바 바다가트 바라트베 야쯔짱 까마레 야트바밤 야바네 그르타무 바야흐 바리노테오 야쯔짱 자는마는 따레시바삐 야는 니샤얌 따탕 브랄타 야는 마티아 흐나 빠라 흐노 요흐 브라다리아는 마티아 흐나 빠라는 흐노 요흐 빠라 흐노 요흐 브라다얀 브라다리아 브라다리아는 마티아 흐나 빠라 흐노 요흐 삼티아 요리아트 그르담 빵빰 까예나 마나사 기란 다트트반 테눔 사크르드바 비 카필람 구슈이라 사미유담 소파스카람 사바트삼 짱 따포드 브르트타 사마는 비트 따포드 브르트타 사마는 비트 브라흐마노에 베다비두슈에 살바빠빠이흐 브라무지아트 우드타레다는 따까람 우드타레다는 따까람 사 다다람 빠빠삼자야트 에깐 까우흐 스바스타치트타시암 히아뚜라시암 짱 고샤타무 사하스람 무리야마노시야 따뜻함 찌뜨따비 발지땀 무르타시아이 따뜻 보날라크샴 비티푸담 따뜻사마무 딜타바 뜨라사무패땀 다나메감 짱 라쿠셔탕 빠뜨레 따뜻함 짱 야드다남 따르라크셔구누이담 파베트 다투흐 팔라마나는 땀 시아는나 바드라시아 브라티그라하흐 스바티아 야호마 사미우크타흐 파라마까비 발지타흐 라트나불너마피 마힘 브라티그르히아 나 리피아테 뷰셔시 다 바하오 마는드라 바흐니 김 도셔파기나오 아빠트레 성자 가을 따뜻한 다다람 나라감 나야트 꿀라이 가샤타 사미우크담 그르히다람 두 바타야트 나바트레 비두쇼 데야 히아트마나흐 시레야 이츠차타 에간 예카시야 다다비야 바후남 나카다자나 사 비크리다 비파크다 마 다하티야 사브타맘 다하티야 사브타맘 콜라무 까티다 연 마연 볼밤 따밤 바이타라누이 나디 다시연 히우드 타라노파얌 고다남 가타야미트 그르셔놈 바탈람 바피 테눔 코리아 달람 코르탐 스바노스릉은김 need water or something. Move to verse 770. The whole thing is 118, so about 50 verses left. 스바노스릉 스발너 스릉응김 라우비아 쿠람 라우비아 쿠람 감시아빠 뚜로빠도 히님 그르셔너 바스트라 유까지 차는 남 까는 터 가는 더 사마는 비탄 까는 터 가는 더 사마는 비탄 까는 터 가는 더 사마는 비탄 까이빠 소파리 삼세타 비야 다무라빠 드람 사짜일라까마 야맘 하이맘 미야사트 따뜨라 노하다는 더 사마는 비땀 감시아빠 뜨레 그릇담 그릇뜨바 살밤 따시오파리 미야사트 나바미쿠슈마임 그릇뜨바 빠뜨떠수 뜨레노 베시터예트 갈담 비타야 사잘람 그릇뜨바 다스미는 구슈이 베트따리무 다시오파리 스티담 그릇뜨바 수리아데하 사무드 파바무 테눔 삼가르파 야뜨따뜨라 야타샤 스타라 비타나타흐 사람까라누이 바스트라누이 브라흐마노야 브라카르파야트 부잠 구리아드 비타네나 가는타 포시파 그쇼타 디피흐 가는타 포시파 그쇼타 디피흐 부츠참 삼그르히야 테노스투 나바마 시리티야 바다타흐 보라스 그르티야 따또 비프라미맘 마는트라 무디라야트 바바사가라 마그나남 쇼카타볼 미두허키남 쇼카타볼 미두허키남 드라타 드밤히 자가는 나타흐 샤라노 가타바트 살라흐 비슈누루파 드비자시레슈트 마무드타레 마히수라 사다쿠쇼이너 마야 따뜻한 두피암 바이타라누임 나마흐 야마마게 마하코레 땀 나딤 샤타요자남 딸뚜까모 다다미에땀 두피암 바이타라누임 나마흐 테누께 맘 프라티 구샤스바 야마드바라 마하바테 우드따라 널탐 데베시 바이타라누이아이 나모수투테 바이타라누이아이 나모수투테 가보 메 아그라타흐 자눈투 가보 메 자눈투 부르슈타타흐 가보 메 후르다예 자눈투 가밤 마티에 바사미야하므 야 나크시미흐 살바푸다남 야자 데베 브라티시 트위땅에 테누루 베너 사 데비 마마 빠밤 비아포하투 이티 다는 드라이시장 비아포하투 sorry got interrupted 이티 많은 드라이시장 사문포랄티아 산잘리 테누감 야마무 살밤 바라다쿠 슈이누이 그르티아 브라다쿠 슈인
Paratakushuinui Kurutavan Brahmano ya Nivedayat Evam Dadyad Vitanena Yokam Paitaranuim Kaga Sa Yati Talmamalgenu Talmaraja Sapanen Tare Sivasatiyavasata Sharire Sivasatiyavasata Sharire Tu Paitaranuyam Pratam Charet Teyan Jan Vidushu Tenusatam Nadim Dultumich Chatam San Nayati Mahamalge Godanena Nadi Kaga Tasmadavasyam Tatavyam Punuyakaleshu Salvadar Gangangadi Salvatil Teshu Brahmano Basate Teshu Brahmano Basateshu Jan Janandra Surya Janandra Suryo Parageshu Samkranan Tao Dalshabasare sorry Ayane Vishuve Jaivavyati Pate Yugadishu Anieshu Punuyakaleshu Dadiad Kodana Mutatamama Yadaivan Jayate Shiradatan Patram Samamparapiate Yadai Sa Eshu Punuyakalah Siadiaih Siadiatah Samampatatirak Stira Samampatira Satira Asatiranui Shariranui Vipavo Naiva Shashvatah Nityam Sananihito Murutiyuh Kartavyo Dharmasamjayah Atmavitata Nusarena Tatra Danamananantakam Danamanananta 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 Danamananantakam Danamananantakam Deyam Vipraya Vidushwe Svatmanah Shreya Ichachatan Aripena Pihi Pitatena Svahasatenam Svahasatenatmana Gurutam Tadakushoyam Pavedanam Tatakalam Jopatishitati Guruhi Tadana Pateyah Sukham Yanti Mahatvani Anyata Guishyate Janantuh Pateyara Hitah Anyata Guishyate Janantuh Pateyara Hitah Pati Yani Jan Tanani Tatatani Puvi Manabaih Yamalokapate Dani Hyupatishitananti Jagratah Mahapunuya Prapavena Manusham Janama Lapyate Yasatata Prapya Jalad Dhaimam Sa Yati Paramam Katim Avijinyaya Naro Dhaimam Tuhakama Yati Ja Manushuya Janamasa Palyam Manushuya Janamasa Manushuya Janamasa Palyam Kevalam Thalmasevanam Thanaputra Kalatradi Shariramapi 많은 타바흐 아니디암 살바메베담 다스마드 탈맘 사마짜레트 다바드 바는 투흐 비덩알 다바디아 바주지 빗바티 다바디아 바주지 바티 마나바흐 무르타나 많은 따람 지냐 뜨발 구쇼너 뜨스네호 니발따떼 아 뜨마이바 히야 뜨마노 바는 투리띠 비디아는 무훌무후흐 지바는 나비띠 산치는 띠야 무르타나 까흐 무르타나 까흐 브라다시아띠 에밤 자나는 니담 살밤 스바하스테나이바 디야담 아니띠암 지비담 야스마트 바시자트 고피 나 다시아티 무르담 샤리라 무르트 스르지암 까까 슈터로 슈터 사맘 구슈이따우 비무칸 많은 타바 야는 띠 탈마스타마 누가츠 차띠 탈마스타마 누가츠 차띠 그르하 달탕 니발따는 때 시마샤나 뜨살바바는 타바흐 슈팜 꾸르땀 깔마 가츠 차는 따마누 가츠 차띠 가츠 차는 따마누 가츠 차띠 샤리람 바흐니나 다그탐 꾸르땀 깔마 사하 스티땀 보노염 반 야디 반 빠밤 붐 끝에 붕은 끝에 빠밤 붐은 끝에 살바트라 마나바흐 빠밤 붐은 끝에 살바트라 마나바흐 나 꼬삐 가시아찌드 바는 투흐 가시아찌드 바는 투흐 삼사레 두하카사가레 아야띠 깔마사마는 다 디아띠 깔마삼바는 깔마삼은 바는 다 디아띠 깔마삼은 바는 다 디아띠 깔마끄쇼예 보나흐 lesson 20 to go 마뜨르 빼뜨르 수따 프라뜨르 바는 두다라 디상은 가마흐 브라빠야 미바 짜는 두남 나디암 가실토 카바츠 잘라흐 가시야 부트라 시장 바우트라 시장 가시야 파리야 타남자 바 삼상아레 나스티 가흐 가시야 스바얌 다스마트 바라디야담 아트마 야트담 타남 야야트다 바드 비프레 사말파야트 바라티네 타네 자테 나 김치드 바크투 무트 사헤트 볼바자는 마끄르타 드다나 다트라 라브탐 타남 바후 다스마 데밤 파리지냐야 탈말탐 디야담 타나무 탈마트 삼자야 델 타시장 탈마트 삼자야 델 타시장 탈마트 까모 피자야 델 탈마트 까모 피자야 델 탈마 에바 바발가야 다스마드 탈맘 사마짜레트 시라드 타야 타리아테 탈모 바후필날 타라시 바후필날 타라시 피흐 바후필날 타라시 피흐 미시킨쩌나 히 문화야흐 시라드타 바는또 디밤 까따흐 바트람 부시밤 팔람 도얌 요메 파그티안 브라야츠차티 다다함 파그티우 바흐르타 마시낫 파그티우 바흐르타 마시나미 브라야타트 마나흐 다스마 다바시암 다타비암 다다 다남 비타나타흐 아르밤 반 바후베티맘 가누남 나이바 까라야트 탈마트마 자사 부트로 바이 다이바타이라피 부지아테 다바예디아스투 다나니 비타람 히아투람 부비 비트롤 니미트담 야드비트팀 야드비트담 부트라이흐 바트레 사마이피담 아드마비 바비타스테나 부트라 바우트라 브라 바우트라 카이흐 부트라 바우트라 브라 바우트라 카이흐 부트라 바우트라 브라 바우트라 카이흐. That's the best I could do. 비투흐 샤타구넘 부누염 사하스람 마투레바 짜 바기니 다샤사 하스람 소다레 다뜻다 마쿠셔야무 나 자이보바드라바 달 뚫나 바 나라카야 다나흐 나 자이보바드라바 달 뚫나 바 나라카야 다나흐. Sorry. 무르티유카 레나 짜 파얌 야마두 다사무드 파바무. Two more shlokas. 야디 로파네나 야츠차는티 까레 히아두라 삼지냐께 무르타흐 쇼짜는티 데 살베 가다리아흐 바비나흐 카가 부트라흐 바우트라흐 사하 프라트라 사고트라흐 수흐르 다스투 예 야츠차는티 나두레 다남 브라흐마트나스테 나 삼차야흐. Done. 이티 श्री 가루다 पुराणो에 사로드타레 아뚜라다나 니루바남 나마 아실터모티아야흐. Okay, so let me quickly read the translation so I could take a break. An account of the gift for the dying, chapter 8. Garuda said, "Tell me, O Lord, all the rites for those in the other worlds who have done good, and also how these rites should be performed by the sons." So once again, starting from chapter 7, starts talking about good people who die. From chapter 1 to 6 is about the sinful and their punishments. The Blessed Lord said, "O Kushio, you have done well in questioning me for the benefit of mankind. I will tell you all about the rites proper for the righteous. The good person finding his body in its old age afflicted with diseases, and the planetary conditions unfavorable, and not hearing the sounds of life, and knowing his death to be near, should be fearless and alert, and should make reparation for any sins committed knowingly or in ignorance. When it is near the time to die, he must perform his ablutions and worship Vishnu in the form of Shalagrama. He must worship with fragrant substances, with flowers, with red saffron, with leaves of the holy basil, with incense, with lamps, with offerings of food and many sweet meats and other things. He should give presents to Brahmins, should feed them with the offerings, and should recite the 8 and the 12-syllabled mantras. He should call to mind and listen to the names of Vishnu and Shiva. The name of Hari, coming with the range of hearing, takes away the sins of men. Relatives coming near the deceased should not mourn. My holy name should be remembered and meditated upon repeatedly. The fish, the tortoise, the boar, the man-lion, the dwarf, Parashurama, Rama, Krishna, Buddha, and also Kariki. These 10 names should always be meditated upon by the wise. Those who recite them near the deceased are called relatives. You could read about the avatars, the footnotes. Of him who gives voice to the auspicious name Krishna, tens of millions of great sins are quickly reduced to ashes. Even the dying Ajamila reached heaven by pronouncing the name Hari, which had been given to his son. How much more then is its effect when it is pronounced with faith? Hari, meditated upon even by one who has evil thoughts, takes away sins. Fire burns, even though accidentally touched. The sinful man is not able to sin while the power of the name Hari is uprooting the sins, O twice born. Yama said to his servants, "Bring the man who denies, but, O messengers, do not bring the man who meditates on the name Hari." One should worship the Achyuta, Keshava, Rama, Narayana, Krishna, Damodara, Vasudeva, Hari, Shridhara, Madhavam, Gopika Varalapam, Ramachandra, the Lord of Janaki. Footnote, if you want to see it, names of Vishnu. O servants, do not go near those sinless people who take refuge in the lotus eye of Vasudeva and Vishnu, who is the supporter of the earth and carries in his hand the conch and discus. Bring those sinners who always turn away from the nectar of the lotus feet of Vishnu, which are served by the race of Paramahamsas, who know the true essence of things and are without possessions, and those whose desires are bound up in the household, which is the path to hell. Bring them whose tongues do not pronounce the qualities and name of the Lord, whose minds do not meditate upon his lotus feet, whose heads never bow to Krishna, who do not offer worship to Vishnu. Know then, O Lord of birds, the hymning of Vishnu, which bestows welfare on the universe, to be the best expiation for even great sins. The performance of penances does not purify the wicked man who has turned his face away from Narayana, just as even rivers cannot purify a liquor pot. By the name of Krishna one is ridden of sins, and never sees even in dream Yama nor his servants. The man having a body of flesh, bones and blood, who towards the end gives cows to the twice-born, uttering Nananda Nanandanam, never falls into the Vaitaranui. Hence one should remember the name Mahavishnu, which effaces multitudes of sins, and should read or listen to the Gita and the hymn of the 1,000 names. The fast of the 11th day, the Gita, the water of the Ganges, the leaves of the holy basil, the foot water, and names of Vishnu, all these are givers of freedom at the time of death. Then he must dedicate food with clarified butter and gold to a learned twice-born, and also give cows with calves. Whatever a man gives in his last days, little or much, if it is approved by his son, is exempt from decay or darkushuya. In these last days, a good son should make all the gifts. It is for the sake of this that the wise pray for a righteous son in this world. The sons, seeing their father lying upon the ground with eyes half closed, should not covet his earned wealth. A good son will make such gifts as will prolong his father's life and free him from misery when he goes into the next world. In disease and calamity, 2 gifts rank above all others. They are indispensable: the 8-fold gift of sesamum and other things, sesamum, iron, gold, cotton stuff, salt, the 7 grains, a plot of ground, a cow. Every one of these is said to purify. The 8 great gifts are the adversaries of great sins, and should be given in the last days. Here now their good effects. There are 3 kinds of holy sesamums generated from my sweat. Asuras, Danavas, and Daityas are gratified by the gift of these sesamums. White, black, and brown are the 3 kinds of sesamums. The gift of these removes the sins gathered in speech, thought, and action. A gift of iron ore should be made with the hands touching the ground. Then he does not go within the domain of Yama, nor tread his path. Yama holds in his hands for the punishing of the sinful an axe, a thrashing pestle, a rod, a sword, and a dagger. This gift is considered propitiatory to these weapons of Yama. Therefore should be made the gift of iron, which is the bringer of happiness in the world of Yama. Because of this gift of iron, happiness is bestowed by these great messengers of Yama, Urana, Shyama Sudra, Shunanda Maika, Udumbara, Sheshu, and Bala. Hear this great secret of Dhargushya about this most supreme gift by which are pleased the dwellers in Bar, and Swai worlds. Brahma and others, sages, shining ones, and those who are in the assembly of the King of Justice are gratified by the gift of gold and become grantors of boons. Let me just quickly show you this footnote: physical, astral, and lower mental worlds. Therefore, a gift of gold should be made for the uplifting of the departed. He does not go to the world of Yama, O child, but reaches heaven. He dwells for a long time in the world of truth, and is then reborn here as a king, handsome, righteous, eloquent, prosperous, and of unexcelled strength. By the gift of cotton stuff, one is free from fear of the messengers. By the gift of salt, one is free from the fear of Yama. By the gift of iron, salt, cotton stuff, sesamum, and gold, Chitragubuddha and the others who dwell in the city of Yama are propitiated. And by gifts of the 7 grains, the standard bearer of the King of Justice and others who stand at the gates are propitiated. Rices, barley, wheat, kidney beans, marsho, panic seeds, dwarf peas, these are called the 7 grains. It has been observed by the sages that the gift of a plot of land of the size of a cow's hide, in accordance with the rites to a proper person, absolves one from Brahmacide. Not by vows, not by holy pilgrimages, not by any gifts, but by the gift of land, is a great sin committed and kingship expiated. He who gives to the twice-born land filled with grains goes to the abode of Inandara and is worshipped by divinities and demons. All other gifts of Kashyapa are producers of little fruit. The fruit produced by the gift of land increases daily. He who, having become a king, does not give land to the twice-born is reborn for many times as a beggar, without even a village hut. The king who, through pride, does not make gifts of land shall dwell in hell as long as Sheshu supports the earth. Therefore shall a king especially make gifts of land, though for others, I say, the gift of a cow is equal to a gift of land. Towards the end, a cow should be given. He should give a cow to overcome death, another to absolve himself of debts, another for the gaining of liberation. With special rites, O bird, should the gift of a cow for Vaishvara Nui be made. Sorry. The cows verily carry the man beyond 3 kinds of hells. Let me just see what they use. These other chapters. Vaitara Nui. With special rites, O bird, should the gift of a cow for Vaitara Nui be made. The cows verily carry the man beyond the 3 kinds of hells. The sins committed in boyhood, in youth, in manhood, in old age, and in previous births. The sins committed in the night, in the morning, in the forenoon, in the afternoon, in the twilight, of action, speech, and thought. Having given even once a tawny cow, milk giving, with the calf, and other necessary things, to a well-conducted and austere Brahmin, learned in the Vedas, one is absolved of all these sins. The giver is released by her at the end from the accumulated sins. The gift of one cow while one is in full vigor of mind. The gift of 100 cows while suffering from diseases. The gift of 1,000 when dying and bereft of mental faculties. And the gift of 100,000 cows after death are equal. A gift made to a deserving person who has bathed at the secret waters increases 100,000-fold. A gift made to a deserving person multiplies 100,000-fold. It brings unending fruit to the giver and does not harm the recipient. One who has studied the scriptures and made fire offerings to the Shining Ones, and who does not eat food cooked by others, is not polluted by receiving even the earth filled with precious stones. Manantras and fire, and the removers of cold and poison, do not themselves partake of these evil qualities. The cow given to an undeserving person leads the giver to hell, and it troubles the recipient's people for 100 generations. A gift should not be made to an undeserving person by the wise, who desire their own welfare. One cow should be given to one only, and never to many. If he either sells it or shares it, his family will be troubled to the 7th generation. I will tell you about the gift of a cow, which is a means for crossing the Vaitaranui river, of which I have spoken to you already. One should decorate a black or reddish cow, tip its horns with gold, silver its feet, and milk it into a bronze vessel. Cover it with a pair of black cloths, hang a bell round its neck, and place the covered bronze vessel upon some cotton stuff. Put there a golden image of Yama and an iron rod. Place clarified butter in the bronze vessel and put all upon the cow. Make a raft of sugar canes, fastening it with silk threads. Make a hole, fill it with water, and in it place the raft. Having placed the things which are born from the body of the sun in it, dedicate the cow there in accordance with these scriptures. Present the cloths with ornaments to a Brahmin. Properly worship with fragrances, flowers, and colored rice. Take hold of the tail of the cow, place a foot in the boat, and having honor of Brahmin, recite this mantra. O Lord of the universe, compassionate to those who seek refuge in Thee, Thou art verily the Savior of those who are immersed in the ocean of existence, made miserable by the waves of sorrow and remorse. O best of the twice-born, the very form of Vishnu, God upon earth, uplift me. I have presented this gift to you. Salutations to Vaitaranui. I have presented this to you, being desirous of crossing that river, which is 100 yojanas in extent, and lies on the very dreadful way of Yama. Salutations to Vaitaranui. O cow, look upon me, for the sake of my passing through the gateway of Yama on the great path. Salutations to thee, Vaitaranui, queen of the Shining Ones. May cows be in front of me, may cows be behind me, may cows be in my heart, and may I dwell in the midst of cows. May she, who is the goddess of prosperity for all creatures, who is the mainstay of the Shining Ones, in the form of a cow, remove my sins. With hands together, having invoked with these mantras, Yama in the form of a cow, and having walked round all these things, he should give them to the Brahmin. He who, with these rites, gives the Vaitaranui cow, goes by a righteous path into the assembly of the King of Justice. Whether the body is well or ill, one should carry out the Vaitaranui observance. The wise man, desiring to cross that river, should make a gift of a cow. That river or bird does not appear in the great way after the gift of a cow. Therefore it is necessary to give a cow at all sacred times. At all the sacred bathing places, like the Ganges, and in the dwelling places of Brahmins, at the eclipses of the sun and moon, at the crossing river on the day of the new moon, at the equinoctial and solstitial points, at Vyati Bhata on Yugar days, and at other sacred times, the supreme gift of a cow should be made. Okay, I'm going to show you the footnotes. You could pause it there. I'm gonna move on. That verily is called a sacred time in which faith is produced, and when a proper person is present, thence flows unending benefit. Bodies are transitory, possessions are not eternal, death is always near, one should accumulate righteousness. So one who desires his own welfare should make unending gifts according to his wealth to a learned Brahmin. The gift of even a little wealth presented with one's own hand, this is unending, and the time is effectual. He who has gifts as provision goes happily on the great way, otherwise without provision the man suffers pain on the path. All the gifts made by human beings in this world clear the way for them on the path of the world of Yama. By the power of great merit, birth as a human being is obtained. He who, having gained it, follows righteousness, which is the supreme goal. The man who neglects righteousness goes and comes in misery. The fruitfulness of birth as a human being depends upon the pursuit of righteousness alone. Wealth, sons, wife, and family, body, kinsmen, all these are transitory. Therefore righteousness should be sought. So long as a man is alive, he has a father and other relatives, but when they have known him to be dead, their affection soon fades away. He should constantly remember that the true kinsman of the self is the self. If not to the living, much less will anyone give to the dead. Knowing all this, one should give with one's own hand while still alive. Life is transient, and who can give afterwards? The relatives turn away with averted faces, leaving the dead body on the ground like a lump of wood or earth, but righteousness goes with him. The wealth disappears from the house, and the relatives from the cremation ground. The good and evil karma he has made goes with him. When his body has been destroyed by fire, his karma remains, and wherever he is, the man experiences it, be it good or bad. Nobody has a relation in this changing ocean of sorrow. He is born by the attraction of karma, and goes again upon its exhaustion. Like creatures in a water tank, and like the motion of sticks in a river, is one's contact with mother, father, son, brother, kinsman, wife, and the others. Whose are the sons and the grandsons? Whose is the wife or the wealth? In the world of change, nobody belongs to anybody. Therefore, one should make gifts himself. As long as one is in possession of wealth, so long should one make gifts to a Brahmin. But when the wealth becomes another's, one can have nothing to say. On account of gifts made in a former birth, much wealth is obtained in this. Hence should wealth be given by one knowing this, for the sake of righteousness. Wealth is born of righteousness. By righteousness desire is conquered. Righteousness verily is the cause of freedom. Therefore should righteousness be pursued. Righteousness is supported by faith, not by large piles of wealth. The wise, though in poverty, have faith and go to heaven. From him who offers to me with devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, from him, the self-subdued, I accept that presented with devotion. Therefore, by all means, a gift should be made, and as prescribed. Whether it be small or great does not count with me. A righteous son is honored even by the shining ones. He should cause his ailing father to make gifts on earth. If the wealth made by the father is given to the deserving by the sons, then by that himself, his sons, grandsons, and great-grandsons are ennobled. What is given through the father has 100-fold merit, through the mother 1,000-fold, through the sister 10,000-fold, through the brother incalculable. For him who makes gifts there are no troubles and no torments of hell, and no fear caused by the messengers of Yama at the time of death. All those sinful misers, O bird, who, because of greed, do not make gifts at the time of illness, come to grief when dead. Sons, grandsons, brothers, kinsmen, and friends, who do not make gifts on behalf of a dying man, are without doubt slayers of Brahman. Okay, so about 45 minutes passed since I began. 45 minutes, 1 hour and 15 minutes, sorry. I have 45 minutes left. Let me take a break, thank you. So next up is Garuda Purana. Wow, news anchor. Anna Orsini dies. Arizona TV news anchor was 28. Okay, let's get to it. There we go. Almost at the Jalchanui Pran Purushapo Jananam Raja Kurushatvinam Puruhuta Inandraha Sututaha Shiravasyanan Nabasopa Madhuri Gyukutava Hari Purushono Yahyabang Madhuri Gyukutava Yete Purushono Purushapasa Inandra Brahma Yujo Purusharataso Atyah Tam A Dishita Tapira Yahyal Bang Habama Yahyal Bang Habama He Deva Sutta Inandra Some Bishita Ratam Purushanam Purusho De Sutaha Somaha Parishukatan Parishuikatan Matuni Yukatavan Purushopyam Purushopan Kushwitinam Haripyam Yahi Brabatopan Madrik Ayam Yajinyo Devaya Ayam Miyata Ima Brahmanuyoya Minandra Somaha Stilnam Bahira Tu Chakra Pra Yahi Biba Nishodya Bi Mujan Hari Iha Om Sushirtutan Inandra Yahial Bangan Upan Yahial Bangan Wupan Yahial Bangan Wupan Brahmanui Manyasya Karoha Vidyama Pasatorabasan Kurunananto Vidyamesham Purujanam Jiradanum Wapa. Huh. Interesting. Namaste. Never seen this character before. Whoa. O does exist in Sanskrit. Banga, Bangwapa, Wo. The beloved man who cherishes all people, king of the races, and in the non-cult of money. Fame loving, praised hither to me with succor, turn having yoked, both vigorous bay horses. Thy mighty stallions yoked by prayer, O Yanandara, thy coursers to thy mighty chariot harnessed. Ascend thou these, and borne by them, come hither, with Soma juice outpoured in Indra, we call thee. Hello, Shatakushi singer. Let me just finish reading this. Ascend thy mighty car, thy mighty Soma is poured for thee, and sweets are sprinkled around us. Come down to usward, bull of human races, come, having harnessed them with strong bay horses. Here is God reaching sacrifice, here the victim, here in and down are the prayers, here is the Soma. Strewn is the sacred grass, come hither, Chakra. Seat thee and drink, unyoke thy two bay coursers. Come to us, Inandra, come down, highly lauded, to the devotions of the singer Mana. Singing, may we find early, through thy succor, may we find strengthening food in full abundance. Singing, may we find early through thy succor. May we find strengthening food in full abundance. Namaste. Hello, Shatakushi Singh. Okay, I'm gonna take a little break. Yeah. So next up is Yoga Sutra. Hello. It says hi from India. Hello. Alright, I'm not gonna take too long of a break because that was short. Can you tell me something about your content? Yeah, my content is about so I had an ordeal. I should have died of a fatal injury back in 2019. I still have the pain. I've been carrying it, for many years now. The thing with me is I just won't die. I just, it's kind of like being struck with, a few spears in through the heart, and you're living as if nothing happened to you, or having that, carrying that pain and still living, still being alive. That's what happened to me. I suffered a brain injury and lost part of my teeth as a result. And it used to take me 20 times the normal amount of effort to speak. Now it takes about 3 to 5 times the effort. Still have trouble speaking in public. But yeah, so my content is about me healing myself. For me, what healing for me is not through medical technology. Healing to me is about what King Yahusha did. That's the real name for Jesus. What he did to heal, restoring missing teeth, restoring, cut off ears, things like that. The real healing, like miracles, is what I'm going for. Because I don't want a set of crutches for the rest of my life. I don't want to rely on, the modern technology, medicine technology. I mean, there are many good things in the modern medicine technology, but they're not for me. Because I'm not looking for a set of crutches. I'm looking to revive the dead, raise the dead, if you will. Feeding the 4,000 with 7 fishes. That's what I'm going for. That's, and the yoga system has everything within its system to, get you through it, basically. So Sanskrit works to break the barriers of all the spiritual and mental blocks. So whatever you think is impossible, Sanskrit says it's possible. Oh, my cousin died 16 years ago. Can he come back from being dead? With Sanskrit, it used to be possible. So, the word Gurushunu, Gurushunu, if you say the word Gurushunu in a really, really bad neighborhood, say like in New York City, Bronzeville or something, you'll have criminals like coming out looking for you because they will be in so much fear of what they just heard. The word Gurushunu literally means darkness or black. So you're saying, oh, this neighborhood is dark. And sounds basically that's what you're saying. Oh, this is dark. And some people are freaking out. Like, what did you say? Well, I don't want to go too much into it. I'll talk more about, maybe I'll have a weekly talk show. Oh, I'll talk about stuff that I do. Now is not the time for it because I need to heal myself. Without me, there's no content. Let me get to my Sanskrit study. So now I'm doing Yoga Sutra, starting at 22. This is the best version. I have 4 different versions at my fingertips, but this is the best version, unfortunately, because the printing is awful. Sometimes I have to rely on the other versions. Have you read all the Vedas? I'm reading the Vedas, the Raga Veda now. I don't have any good copies of all the other Vedas. I'm gonna, master Raga Veda and then move on to the other Vedas. That's what I'm planning for. But I think the most important book for me right now is Bhagavad Gita and Yoga Sutra and Garuda Purana. I know that Garuda Purana is avoided among Hindus. It says I am a Hindu, so I'm assuming that he knows certain things about Garuda Purana. It's the most unlucky book if you're a criminal. It's the luckiest book if you're righteous. Think about that for a second. Garuda Purana, which, as far as I know, most Hindus avoid it. They refuse to make digital copies, nice copies, like nice Sanskrit copies like this. Sorry, the letters are so small. They refuse to write, like, digitized Garuda Purana into this. They refuse to do it. And because they consider it very, very unlucky. And I find it, this is my verdict of Garuda Purana, which is the most unlucky book in the Vedic religion, according to Hindus. It's my verdict is that it's the most unlucky book if you are a criminal. And it's the luckiest book for you, Garuda Purana, the book that is most avoided. There's no nice digitized copy of the book, because they think it's gonna curse. They're gonna, be cursed from the book. That's what they think. That I'm telling you the truth. This is what's going on. It's the luckiest book if you're righteous. People don't believe in that book. That's news to me. So people don't believe in Garuda Purana, but it's really, really powerful. I find that it's, because according to the Yoga Sutra, I'm supposed to read books about yoga, and Garuda Purana, well, really, it's like military boot camp for your soul. Garuda Purana is like a military boot camp for your soul. It really makes you righteous, Like, oh, I don't want to go to hell. I got that in my DNA now because somebody spoke to me in Sanskrit about it. It's like, I know what's going to happen for sure. I heard it in Sanskrit. It must be true. Okay, so I'm going to keep going here. I don't want to waste my time. I'll go maybe 5 minutes extra because I didn't waste my time. This was really good talking to you. This really, really helps me to connect with people in the real world, IRL, in the real IRL, in real land, in real whatever, in IRL, in real life. What people are actually believing in. I thought people avoided Garuda Purana because it's like a horror movie, but now you're telling me that people don't even believe in it. It's a ritual to read it when someone dies. I know that. I know. That's why I said people avoid it because it's associated with death. But if you master death, this becomes a toy. This becomes a tool to play with death, if you will. Not play with death, meaning like be a child about it. Be two kids playing, the other kid is death and you're the other kid. You guys are playing instead of, oh my god, it's death. I'm in so much fear. I don't want to die. Everybody's desire at the bottom of their heart. It's like, I don't want to die. Well, you could master it. You could master that fear. I don't want to die. That thing. That very sentence which I spoke. You could fix it. Okay, here we go. I gotta keep going. So I'll do maybe 10 minutes extra. So I'll finish this at 2 hours and 40-minute mark. Namaste. Thank you. Very, very good talking to you. I wish I remember who I was in my past life. Then I'll have a better time talking to you. Only thing I remember how to do from my past life right now is Devanagari or Sanskrit, reading Sanskrit. And I'm reading it better than in my previous incarnation. Because this is Aryan Sanskrit. This is not just any modern Sanskrit. Especially not modern Sanskrit. Okay, here we go. Namaste. Katamu. Chitara prati samkrama ya setata kara patatau sivabhutiti samvedanamu. I want to say this again. Chitara prati samkrama ya setata kara patatau sivabhutiti 부드 스바 부드티 삼베다 나무. Sorry. So what I get for talking, about boasting about Sanskrit. No, I can't say it. Sanskrit is a living language. If you disrespect it, it'll disrespect you like 7 times or something. It's not to be laughed at. It's not to be ignored. I can't believe people don't believe in Garuda. It's because they don't pronounce it in the Aryan Sanskrit. They don't pronounce it in the Aryan pronunciation. It's lost its power. The power is in the pronunciation. I don't know what people say nowadays, but that whatever people say otherwise is not true. Everything is in the accurate pronunciation. Otherwise, the language itself is lost. You have a computer program called Sanskrit, which makes this reality, and you pronounce it wrong. Well, guess what's gonna happen to the phone? The house is gonna look crooked. That's for starters. That's for beginners. You have all kinds of problems within the house. Okay, here we go. 아빠리너 미니 히 포크트르 샤크티라 프라티 삼크라마 자 파리너 미티알테 파리너 미티알테 프라티 삼크라는 때바. Sorry, now I'm being harassed. 프라티 삼크라는 때바 따드 프라티 삼크라는 때바 따드 부르트티 마누 파타티 따드 부르트티 마누 파타티 Tasya Shechan Prapata Chaitanyo Prapata Chaitanyo Pagra Hasbaru Payan Prapata Chaitanyo Pagra Hasbaru Payan Puduti Purutara Nukari Matratayan. Sorry, I'm being harassed. So I thought one thing will go, and then now I need water. So it must be karma. I can't really blame it on things other than myself, because it must be my karma. Now I need water. So this is actually a good sign if you're really a Hindu. This means time is trying to stop me because I'm ahead of my game. Time is trying to slow me down because karma means you fit in the puzzle of the world. You're part of the piece of the world. You're not isolated in any way. You're not really alone. You're connected to the world, and you're so far ahead of the game that time has to stop you. Makes me laugh. Yeah, this guy is doing too well. Let's stop him. Let's make him thirsty. Let's make it so that he can't pronounce Sanskrit. That's karma for you. That's an instance of karma for you. Time tries to stop you because you're trying to get out of the bad karma, and your effort has exceeded so far to the point that time has no choice but to stop you from going any further, because you're part of the puzzle. You're part of the puzzle piece of the world, or you're part of the piece of this puzzle called the world, and you have to fit in. You can't just stick out. So I have to wait. Namaste. I talk too much. Tasya Shechan Prapata Chaitanyo Pagra Hasvaru Paya Buddhati Buddhatara Nukari Matrataya Buddhati Buddhatara Nukari Matrataya. Okay. Karama Buddhati Buddhatara Nukarama Trataya Buddhati Buddhati Abhishishatu Hi Chinyana Buddhati Rakhya Yate Tatha Jokatama Na Patalam Na Cha Pibaram Kirinam Naiban Takaram Kukushoyo Nodati Nam Kuha Yasyam Nihitam Brahma Shashavatam Buddhati Buddhati Mabhishishtam Kavayo Vedayanante Iti. Okay. How? The intellect, which unites not, is conscious of its own thinking substance when it takes the form of that. For the energy of the experiencer, which is immutable and which unites not with objects, seeming to unite with something mutable, takes the form of the fluctuations which that undergoes. And it being identified with the fluctuation of the thinking substance, insofar as it is nothing but an imitation of a fluctuation of the thinking substance that has come under the influence of the intelligence. Sorry. It is termed the fluctuation of the thinking substance. And in this sense it has been said that hiding place in which the everlasting Brahman lies concealed is not an underworld, nor mountain chasm, nor the darkness, nor caverns of the sea, but is the working of the mind, when not distinguished. So the sages tell. Atashe Chaitada Pyupagamiate. Is it one word or two words? Atashe Chaitada Pyupagamiate. Atashe Chaitada Pyukama. Atashe Chaitada Pyupagamiate. Okay. Durashio Parakatam Chitatam Salvaltam. Durashio Parakatam Chitatam Salvaltam. Mano hi manantabional tenoparakatam manantabional tenoparakatam tatasavayam. There's number 1. Tatah savayam. Ja Vishayatavad Vishayana Vishayino Vishayatavad Vishayino Purushwena Tumiyaya Puratatiya Sambadatam Puratatiya Sambadatam Tadet Tachachitatameva Tadet Tachachitatameva Tadet Tachachitatameva Darashaturashio Parakatam Vishaya Vishayini Pasam Vishaya Vishayinilpa Vishayani Vishayapi Vishaya Vishayinil Vishaya Vishayinilpa Sam Jatana Svarupa Pananam Vishayat Makamapya Vishayat Makamiva Jatanamiva Sapatui Kamanui Karepam Salva Tamiti Ujiate. Sorry. Tatanena Jitatasaru Pieno Pranantahu Kachitadeva Jatanamitya Huho Jatanamitya Huho Apare Jitatamatramebedam Saivam Nasati Kalevayam Gabadi Kato Dishijang Sakarano Loka Iti Anukamampani Yasate Kasamat Asati Hi Deshwam Prananti Bijam Sabarupa Karanilpasam Jitatamiti Samati Prajinyayam Prajinya Yoltahu Pratibimambi Putastasya Pratibimambi Putastasya Lamambani Putatva Dananyahu. Mastero. Pratibimambi Putastasya Lamambani Putatva Danyahu. 사 jadal tashi jitatamatram siatakatam brajinayaiva brajinya rupamavatarieta brajinya rupamavatarieta tasmat pratibimambi bhutoltah brajinyayam yenavatariate sa purusha iti evam grahi tirugura evam grahi tirugura hanagrahiasavaru pachitata peda katarabma pietachajatitah evam grahi tirugura hanagrahiasavaru pachitata peda katarayamapyajatitah. My cape fell off. That's why I lost some of my power. This Hare Krishna, Harinam, Jadai works as a protection, so I could, be less influenced by demons while I'm pronouncing Sanskrit. It really works. I mean, it's not perfect, doesn't protect you completely, but it's better than not wearing it. Evam grahi turugura hanagrahiasavaru pachit grahi turugura hanagrahiasavaru pachitata peda katarayamapyeta yamapyeta jajatitah grahi turugura hanagrahiasavaru pachitata peda katarayama grahi turugura hanagrahiasavaru pachitata peda katarayamapyeta jajatitah. One more. Grahi turugura hanagrahiasavaru pachit grahi turugura hanagrahiasavaru. Now, Sanskrit is not letting me say it. But I don't like the way I said it, so I want to say it again. Evam grahi turugura hanagrahiasavaru pachitata peda katarayamapyeta grahi turugura hanagrahiasavaru pachitata peda katarayamapyeta jajatitah. Alright, 3 more tries, because I said it right once, but I didn't like the way I said it correct, basically. Grahi turugura hanagrahiasavaru pachitata peda katarayamapyeta 1. Grahi turugura hanagrahiasavaru pachitata peda katarayamapyeta 2. Grahi turugura hanagrahiasavaru pachitata peda katarayamapyeta jajatitah. I'll take it. Brabi bhajanante te samyag darshanasataira tikatah samyag darshanasataira tikatah samyag darshanasataira tikatah purusha iti. That's number 1. That was rough, sorry about that. And for this reason we reach this result. Mind stuff affected by the seer and by the object for sight, all intended objects. Both the central organ is affected by the object for meditation, and is itself on account of its objectivity connected by one of its own fluctuations with the subject, with the self also. Thus the same mind stuff is affected by the seer and by the object for sight, and is seemingly both object and subject, assuming a form both intelligent and unintelligent, appearing as that which is not object, while unintelligent it appears to be intelligent, like a crystal is described as all intended objects. Accordingly, there are some, deceived by this resemblance to mind stuff, who say that itself is intelligent. There are others who say that this whole universe is nothing more than mind stuff, and that this world of things, cows and water jars and other things, together with their causes, does not exist. They are to be pitied. Why so? Because their mind stuff, shining forth in all kinds of forms, is the source of error. Consequently, in concentrated insight, the object for the object for the insight. Sorry, I'm being harassed. When once reflected is other than it, because this is that upon which it rests. If this object were the mind stuff and nothing more than that, how could the insight by itself ascertain its form as being insight? Accordingly, when in the insight an object is reflected, it is the self who determines. Thus, by dividing mind stuff as such into knower and process of knowing and object for knowledge, they classify it according to its kinds as a triad also. These are men of complete insight. By them the self has been reached. I'm gonna do one more and maybe take a break. I have 20 minutes to go. Okay. Kutashi-chan. Tada samkye yabasana pishu chitramapi. Paraitam samadhyakaritvat. Tadetachittama samkhyeya pisal pilsaban pasana pireva. Tadetachittama samkhyeya pilpasana pireva. Sounded terrible. Tadetachittama samkhyeya pilpasana pireva. Chittri kurutamapi paraitam parasya. Poga babalgaltam na sibaltam samadhyakaritvad guruhabat samadhyakaritvad guruhabat samadhyakaritvad guruhabat samadhyakarino chittena na sibaltena pavita vyam na sukhachitam. Number 2. Sukham. Chittatam sukhaltam na jnanam jnanaltam upayamapyetatparaltam. I want to say that again. Jnanaltam upayamapyetatparaltam. Sorry, I cracked. Jnanaltam upayamapyetatparaltam. Yashichan pogena babalgena jaltenal tabanan purushoh sa eva paro na parah samanyamatrama. Jaltenal tabanan purushoh sa eva paro na parah samanyamatrama. Sorry, I became insecure when I crossed over the page. Yatutu kimchit param samanyamatram subaru penoda hared vaina shikas tatasaivam. Subaru penoda hared vaina. Subaru penoda hared. Subaru penoda hared vaina shikai kasatatasaivam. Sorry. What happened? This is what happens when I get harassed while I'm reading Sanskrit. This is actually talked about in Chaitanya Charitamrita. I'm gonna talk about it right after we're finishing this. Subaru, let me start from that beginning of the verse. Yatutu kimchit param samanyamatram Subaru penoda hared vaina shikasatasaivam. Subaru penoda hared vaina shikatsu. Subaru penoda hare vaina shikasatasaivam. Samadhyakaritvat paraltameva. Samadhyakaritvat paraltameva syat. 야스트 바사오 바로 비셰쇼흐 사나 사마디아까리 부르쇼 이띠 비셰쇼흐 사나 사마디아까리 부르쇼 이띠. So I wanted to talk about something, but I forgot. Alright, moving on. And for what reason is this? This, although diversified by countless subconscious impressions, exists for the sake of another, because its nature is to produce combinations. Although diversified by absolutely countless subconscious impressions, the same mind stuff exists for the sake of another, for the sake of the experience and the release of another, not for its own sake. Because like a house, its nature is to work as a combination. The mind stuff must act as a combiner, and not for its own sake. Pleasurable mind stuff is not for the pleasure, but the mind stuff of thought is not for the thought. But both of these two kinds exist for the sake of another. And that very self which has its purpose in the two purposes of experience and liberation is this other, not any other in general. Any indefinite other as such which the destructionists set forth in general terms would all still exist for the sake of some other, since they act to produce things to be combined. But that particular other, which is the self, does not act as a combination. I feel like doing one more. I have 10 more minutes left. I could do Bhagavad Gita, or I could just do more of this and do Bhagavad Gita tomorrow. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll just keep going. Bishesho Daishina Atma Paba Pabana Niburutatihu Atma Paba Pabana Niburutatihu Yata Bra Burushui Durunong Kura Sio de Pedena Tad Bija Sattanumi Yate Tatan Mokushamai Gashirabanuena Yasia Roma Haisho Shurupatel Turushiate Tatara Piasati Vishesho Daishana Bijama Pavaga Pagiyam Vishesho Daishana Bijama Pavaga Pagiyam Gaima Pinil Baltita Mitya Numiyate Gaima Pinil Baltita Mitya Numiyate Dasyat Mapa Bapa Bana Siva Pabiki Pravaltate Yasya Pava Didam Mukutam Siva Pavam Mukutava Dosho Dieshwam Bulva Bakushwe Ruchil Pavatia Ruchishacha Ruchil Pavatia Ruchishacha Nilnoye Pavati Tatratma Pava Pavana Kohama Sam Katamahama Sam Gemsavididam Katam Savididam Ke Pavishuma Katam Ba Pavishuma Iti Sa Tu Vishesha Daishino Divaltate Kutaha Jetatasya Vaisho Vichitraha Parinomaha Purushasata Vasya Purushasata Vasatya Mavi Purushasata Vasatya Mavidyayam Shuddhatashi Chittata Taimaira Para Murashata Shuddhatashi Chittata Taimaira Para Murashata Iti Tatosya Tamapava Pavana Kushalasya Tatosya Tamapava Pavana Kushalasya. Number 1. Bini. Okay. Vini. Vini Valtatan, Divaltatan iti. Okay. For him who sees the distinction, the pondering upon his own states of being ceases. Because a blade of grass sprouts during the rains, we infer the existence of seed. Just so in the case of him who betrays thrills of joy and falling tears in hearing of the weight of release, we may likewise infer that there is in him a karma rooted in the knowledge of the difference, conducive to liberation and brought to completion. In him, the pondering upon his own states of being, which is natural to him, comes into activity. When there is none of this has been said. For he who, after having renounced their own nature, there is by reason of lack, a liking for the opposing view and no liking for the ascertainment of truth. Now as to this point, the pondering upon his own states of being is in this fashion. Who was I? How was I? What is this birth? How is this birth? What shall we become? Or how shall we become? But this pondering ceases for one who sees the distinction. For what reason is this? Since it is this mind stuff which undergoes this diversified mutation. But when there is no longer undifferentiated consciousness, the self is purified and untouched by the conditions of the mind stuff. For this reason, the skillful person ceases pondering upon his own states of being. Okay, I'm gonna keep going for another 5 minutes. Looks like I could do a couple more. I'll do 2 more. Tadan Vivekanimanam Kabbalah Pragaparam Jitatam Tadanim Tadasya Jitatam Vishaya Pragaparamapura Jnana Nimanamasi Tadasya Niyata Vishaya Pragapara Vishaya Pragaparamajnana Nimanamasi Tadasya Niyata Pavati Kabbalah Pragaparam Vivekaja Jnana Nimanamiti Vivekaja Jnana Nimanamiti. There's number 2. Vivekani. Vivekani Manamiti. Okay. Then the mind stuff is born down to discrimination, onward towards isolation. The mind stuff of his, which formerly was born onward towards objects of sense, down to non-thinking, becomes changed for him. It is born onward towards isolation, down to the thinking, which comes from discrimination. So I'll do maybe 1, maybe 2 more. Feel like doing more. Tachachidireshu Vratyayanantaranui Samskare Pyahu. Number 3. Whoa, there's a whole word there. Nimanasya. Okay. Viveka Pratyaya Nimanasya. Viveka Pratyaya Nimanasya. Okay, I said it. Moving on. Yeah, I don't leave anything out. The texts have been all some, a very small portion of the texts have been changed over a long period of time, and you can't really blame anything on anything. All I could do is read everything that is there, not leave anything out. Pratyaya Viveka Nimanasya Satatva Purusha Niyata Khyati Matra Brahma Hinotsuchitasya Pratyaya Viveka Nimanasya Satatva Purusha Niyata Khyati Matra Brahma Hinotsuchitasya Number 4. Baharohi. Baharo. Okay. Satatva Purusho Niyata Khyati Matra Satatva Purusho Niyata Khyati Matra Prabharohi No Shichita Rohi no Shichita Tasya. Satatva Purusho Niyata Khyati Matra Prabharohi no Shichita Tasya. One more. I correct. Satatva Purusho Niyata Khyati Matra Satatva Purusho Niyata Khyati Matra Rohi. Sorry. Satatva Purusho Niyata Khyati Matra Rohi no Shichachitasya. Satatva Purusho Niyata Khyati Matra Rohi no Shichitasya. Sorry, this is what if you could read Devanagari or Sanskrit, you could see what I'm doing. I'm trying to connect this thing, the alternative, to the actual word. Baharohi. Satatva Purusho Niyata Khyati Matra Rohi no Shichitasya. I'll do one more time and then leave it at that. Satatva Purusho Niyata Khyati Matra One more. Satatva Purusho Niyata Khyati Matra Rohi no Shichitasya. I said it right twice. First time I correct, second time I didn't like the way I said it. Satatva Purusho Niyata Khyati Matra Rohi no Shichitasya. Alright, I'll take it. Tachichidareshu Pratyayanantara Nuyasidmi Pratyayanantara Nuya Pratyayanantara Nuyasid Pratyayanantara Nuyasid Pratyayanantara Nuyasamiti Pratyayanantara Nuyasumi Pratyayanantara Nuyasamiti Ba Mameti Ba Janamiti Ba Na Janamiti Ba Kutaha Kushui Yamana Bija Piaha Boiba Samsakara Pia Iti. Sorry about the rough reading. In the intervals of this, there are other presented ideas from subliminal impressions. The mind stuff, which is down towards discrimination of the presented idea, and the flow of which is towards nothing but discernment of the difference between the Sattva and the self, has in its intervals other presented ideas. Either it is I, or it is mine, or I think, or I do not think. From what source? From the dwindling seeds, from previous subliminal impressions. Alright, I'll do one more. Ha nameshum glesha badukatama. Yatan gleshan dagatabi japava na pararoha sanaltan pararoha samaltan pararoha sanaltan samaltan. I think it's samaltan. This printing 28. Pavananti tatar jinyana ganinar Dagatabi Japabah Purva Samskaro Na Pratyaya Prasul Bhavati Jnana Samskara Sutu Chittata Tikara Samadpati Manushasharata Chittata Tikara Samapati Chittata Tikara Samapati Ramanushasharata Chittata Tikara Samapati Manusharata Iti Na Jinantianante. Number one. Jinantiate. The escape from these is described as being like the hindrances. The hindrances, when in the condition of burnt seed, are unfit for generation. Just so, a previous subliminal impression, when in the condition of seed burnt by the fire of thinking, does not generate presented ideas. But because the subliminal impressions of knowledge are dormant until the task of the mind stuff is completed, they are not considered here. Kind of want to do one more. Do just one more. Just one more. Parasamkhya nepia kusi dasya salvatan vivekakya del taimamek kaha. Vivekakya del taimamek Vivekakya del taimamek kaha. Vivekakya del taimamek kaha samatih. Yadayam brahmanoh Parasamkhya nepya kusi dasatatopi. Parasamkhya nepya kusi dasatatopi na kimchit pralthayate tatrapi virakutasya salvatan vivekakya tireva bhavati iti samskara bijakushyananasya Pratyayanantara nunnyut padyanante Pratyayanantara niyut padyanante Tatasya tamamekho nama samatil bhavati. I want to double check the spelling. Got it. Cool. For one who is not usurious, even in respect of elevation, there follows in every case, as a result of discriminative discernment, the concentration, rain-clad of things. This Brahman, even in respect of elevation, is not usurious. He is not looking for anything, even from that. If, even in respect of that, he be passionless, in every case, nothing less than the discriminative discernment becomes his. In this way, when, because the seeds of the subliminal impressions have perished, there do not spring up for him any more presented ideas, then the concentration called rain-clad of things becomes his. Something is telling me to just finish the book. No, I can't finish it. It's too long. I could do another one. Maybe I'll do one more. Tatah Guashakalmani Borotatiha. This is double T. Tutalala. Tarala pa da vidya dayaha. Tutarala pa da vidya dayaha. Gleshaha. Samulakasham Kashwitan Pavananti Kushala Shicha 갈마샤야흐 사무라카담 하탄 파바는띠 그레샤 갈마니 부르트다운 지바는 네바 비르바는 비무코토 파바티 가스마트 야스마드 비파리아요 파바시아 까라너무 나히 구슈이너 비파리아야흐 Guashan, Gushwina Guashan. Gushwina Guasha Bipariayahu. Kashichita Kenachita Kabachi Jato. Turishiatan iti. Kashichita Kenachita Kabachi Jato. Turishiatan iti. Okay, so that concludes the reading of the Sanskrit for the day. Then follows the cessation of the hindrances and of Gaima. After the attainment of this undifferentiated consciousness and the other hindrances are extirpated, root and it. And the latent deposits of Gaima, good and bad, are destroyed with their roots. Upon the cessation of the hindrances and of Gaima, the wise man, even while yet alive, is released. Why is this? Because misconception is the cause of the world. For surely no one has ever seen the birth of anyone whose misconceptions have dwindled away. Alright, so now I have 4 more sutras to go. Tomorrow will be easy. Thank you very much. I'll fix this now. 31 to 34 tomorrow. Just finishing the book tomorrow. Just finished it in 4 days. Thank you. Have a good day.